Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, St. Louis fans? This is another Watchalong with the Top Corner Boys. Just waiting a few more of my teammates to come in. Houston Dynamo FC is hosting St. Louis City FC for another game, another evening of fun soccer. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go on a quick break. As you know, there's a quick kickoff at 7:30 MLS time, maybe 7:45 or so. But with that said, we're going to be on a quick be right back session. We're going to get the lineup ready. We're going to get the stats ready for all of you to talk about. But I cannot do this all by myself because we need one that will talk about the stats, another stats genius, passions, soccer, and experience all in one package for this watching on. So make sure you come back. We'll do a quick break, water break. It's hot outside, so let's call it a quick water break, and we'll be right back with everybody else. We'll talk lineup, kickoff, and what do we expect from the upcoming game. And there's quite a few changes on the St. Louis City SC starting at 11. It's going to be quite interesting, and I can't wait to hear what the fellas have to say. So we'll be right back.
Mo, you're muted on StreamYard.
Like someone does not want to talk to me. I guess I was not on audio. Now I'm on mute. So looks like we're still waiting for Jeremy. But just to kick things off a little bit, as you can see, we just got the starting 11 for today. And there's quite a few new faces on it. So you want us to go over that starting 11 first and give me your thoughts on it? Can you hear me?
Hold on, my audio's not working.
All right, so still having a little bit of technical difficulties because it's been quite a while. So maybe we're still a little rusted. So we'll just give Charlie, the engineer, a few minutes to get back. All right, it looks like still waiting on Jeremy. No pressure. And in the meantime, I don't know how many of you have been watching the Club World Cup, but at this moment, Chelsea is beating Benfica 2-1. Crazy game at this moment where Chelsea was leading. They're delayed it 2 hours. They come back. Benfica score 1-1.
Oh, my audio's still not working, Mo.
Oh, still not, but I can hear you.
My audio isn't working. Hold on.
Yes. Just trying to entertain the good people that are watching us at the moment. All right, so it looks like our good friend Jeremy will be on for the second half. So we'll have Jeremy come and join us in a little bit. All right, so and as they're showing.
All right, I can hear you. Let's go. We're
all
good.
Right, perfect. Yes. Hector, my friend over here. Yes, we know, Hector, we know you are a Houston fan, and we won't hold that against you, that you want your
That's
team
fine.
to
We
win,
know you root for the wrong team. That's all right. You know, that's okay.
Oscar, I want to apologize in advance. Let's just put it that way. And it looks like now City will be playing a 4-2-3-1, which Fatmob had it all wrong. So we won't
just like
talk
normal
about
with Critch.
Yes, and so based on the lineup here, there are talks on our line now that the two center backs, Young Full, and then we have Jake and Wenzel playing now as center back. So what is your thought on that?
I mean, you're really hurt. Kessler, Baumgartful, your two best center backs are out, right? So what it does for you, it leaves you with a couple options, right? You get JGR and you get, is it Kyle Hebert?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So it will be, yes. So it will be.
Kyle's had some trouble coming back from paternity leave, just getting ran past recently.
Yeah, and it's
pace hasn't really been there.
Help.
And then JGR, I'd like him more as a 6, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going for a little bit more useful too, because as you from all four, I believe that was Matt that mentioned that they were, I think, 22.5 years old. So definitely going for a little bit more athleticism. So all St. Louis have been asking, for the center backs to have a little bit more youthful. So now everybody's getting what they wanted. So now we're going to see what's going to happen after that, right? the discussion is going to be quite interesting on that starting four.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be interesting.
All right, so Charlie, since we're still waiting for the kickoff, we just saw that you are doing some extra stuff during the summer. Can you tell the good people what you've been up to?
Yeah, sure. I have been writing for Drew Young's media startup, Utes Media. Of course, still doing Top Corner, but recently my guy David Solomon hooks me up with a gig at KTRS 550.
Nice.
End of July, I'll be officially hired and running the board. Right now, I'm getting training done, but I'm very excited for sure. So running the board for a radio station insinuates kind of controlling microphone volume, controlling if you're muted or not, running commercials, just kind of being the quarterback of the show.
Right.
So I'm extremely excited to start. Waking up at 4:30 a.m. on weekends is going to be tough, but we get it done, and we're here. So excited to watch a soccer game.
That's how it's done, and moving up. So you're earning your strikes for what you wanted to go towards broadcasting.
For sure.
Nice. So it looks like still waiting for. All right. So how are you feeling about the Houston game?
I don't expect much. I mean, this team is almost down for the count, feels like. I don't know. The City team feels kind of uninspired. The back line's been horrendous recently. The defense that was touted as one of the best has turned into one of the worst now, right? So I would say I'd predict a City loss tonight. Of course, I'd love to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
But I think Houston is just a more well-rounded team defensively, offensively. The only place I think I see City being better is in the keeper position with Ramon Burkey.
Ooh, all right. Well, so it looks like, according to Fob Mob, he's saying that, it's favorable for Houston to win at 46%. So that's going to be quite interesting. Top scorer, we know for City who that is, but based on history, this have shown that City have had a better record against Houston, though.
They have, and you look at those wins: October 5th, 2024, February 20th, 2024, and then you scroll all the way down, June 3rd, 2023. Yes. All very different squads there.
True.
So I'm excited to see how they play out today.
Yeah, and it looks like, and City, unfortunately, we have to scroll all the way down to see where we are. But also Houston is still on the 11th place, which gives them still a chance for playoff hopes as much as we do. So, but also theirs does look a lot more red than ours, if you can see, right? So a tie, a win, and 3 straight losses for us.
It's true.
It's
true.
So looks like there's maybe the momentum might change on here, right?
Well, I mean, only time will tell. Once we get this kicked off, we'll see what happens. My favorite thing about sports is you can literally never know when or what's going to happen. Now, you could have someone favored 99-1, or everyone in the world could pick one guy to win or one team to win.
Yep.
And it could be the other way. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm excited to get a good soccer watch in, and then go to bed. That's my goal. And do the post game, then go to bed.
Hey, well, welcome to grown people business, Charlie. 4 a.m. is what time I wake up every day for the past, I guess, 15 years. I guess, yeah, that just aged me a lot. But and also, as we can see now, Chelsea just won the game finally 4-1, which the score of 4-1 does not represent what actually happened during the game. And I don't know how much you have seen about it, but there was 5 minutes left to the game, and there was weather delayed for 2 hours.
Jeez.
So it was one of those welcome to America.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, Sevilla came back, tie 1-1, and then Chelsea ended up winning 4-1. So it was one of those MLS-like schedule, weather delayed. All right, so it looks like we're about to get a kickoff now in
Still trying to log in
Houston.
Apple TV right now.
It's been a little struggle. I think I had to refresh 2 or 3 times to tell me I was not subscribed, which it would have been a different discussion if that was the case.
Yep.
Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like on Apple TV they were showing 53% win for Houston. So City is the underdog. All right, so let's kick off. So you say it was going to be what was your prediction?
Let's say 3-1 Houston.
3-1. All right. So I had, you might think I'm crazy, but I thought it was going to be a 2-0 win for City.
You never know. We'll see.
Okay. Averaging 2 goals. So, all right. So here we go. And it looks like I have my good friend Joseph over here with his front row tickets to the Houston game. He just put it on Twitter. So he's showing us the great seats he has.
Yep.
All right, so let's take a look here at the back. And one thing I definitely like about what Cricket did with the new lineup as well is that you can see if some of the players are not performing based on what they're expected.
Yeah.
That he's not afraid to make changes there. So they're not as comfortable as of like, oh, if I messed up, I know I will still have a chance next game. And that defense pretty much shows exactly that.
Yeah, for sure.
I know we're still wondering where Oscar is. He must be still recovering from his trip to
I think
Miami.
he said there's a no-show today.
Yes. But I think he's probably still recovering from Boca Junior type experience. It looks like we're starting up already with a yellow card.
Already? That's soft.
Or was he just writing his notebook? So let's see. Zelensky.
Already, dude? It's a dumb thing to take right there.
So let's see. I don't see yet the notification, but he's writing his name. Yeah, I think he looks like he may have. Or I didn't see him show him the yellow, but it looks like maybe he wrote his name to let him know this is the first time. And
yeah, I get you. Looks as though that's the case there.
Oh, bad touch.
I finally got the game up now.
Oh, yep. So Apple TV needs to work better on that one.
Gotta.
Ooh. Looks like so far they're showing like they're pressuring on the left on Zelensky a lot more.
Which makes sense. I mean, Zelensky, famously not the most defensively sound guy. He's not the guy who's defense first necessarily. He's a guy that's going to go up and make plays. As he's then fouled. I'm at 220. What are you at?
239.
Okay.
240. Exactly.
I'll press the fast forward. I'm at 243. All right.
Oh, wow. Yep. So
just played through. So City in their white confluence kits. Houston in their what I can describe as I don't know, Saturn orange, maybe.
Wow, I would have just said
what
orange,
that is.
but yeah, hey.
Burnt sienna, something like that. Bronze almost. So Fredo Morales plays it in. Again, Klaus and Betcher at the two. I mean, I've waited for this all season. Two guys with the most chemistry. They're best friends almost in real life, right?
Right.
They have chemistry that I love to see them work off each other in that offensive situation, and they're finally getting the chance to, and I love it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what you want for most of your team, especially the ones that have to play with each other, off of each other so much.
Yeah.
So you can definitely see those two are the biggest chemistry, and go on vacation kind of shows you that as well.
And just like that, Betcher get out there getting physical, drawing a foul. getting a far free kick here, maybe almost like a corner kick type reception, hopefully coming.
Yeah,
another guy I like seeing in the lineup today is walking forward right now, number 13, Michael Wenzel. When I went to trainings a couple weeks back, probably now a month ago, he stayed after practices, touches, just getting extra work in after. I think it shows a lot about him as a person, his work ethic, and I hope it reflects on his play tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's obviously a hard worker in that sense. This one's in, headed out by Houston. Zelensky goes and just runs at it. Pompeo keeps it in as he does. Hartel.
Oh, that's it. Oh, I guess they won't let
Then
it
not a handball?
All right, since it's
play advantage.
Advantage. Oh, that's nice cross. All right.
It was a nice cross by Celio. I mean, that's one of those guys. Like, I think Celio should be taking corners just because it's so smooth for him.
I won't deny that one. Huh?
I think a guy you're missing, and a curious thing as well, is Timo Baumgartel. He goes down in the game on Wednesday versus Orlando at home. Looked like he may have hyperextended that left knee, right? And limped off, tried to jog, kept limping, was grimacing in pain, and then said, I'm going to go back in the game. Was still kind of not 100%, and then he's out for the next game. I don't think that's wise as a training staff, as a coach, to let him go back in because he's such a valuable player. I mean, you're talking about almost garbage time, right? You're talking about him going back in 10 minutes before they score the dagger and then taking him out once they do. And if it was an actual injury and he started playing again, that's damage after the fact. That swelling is going to prevent healing fast and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not wise, I think, as a training staff.
Yeah, it sounded like maybe okay.
Oh, my goodness. Michael Wenzel draws a foul.
But I think he got the...
Oh!
No, I think it's...
I don't think
Wenzel is the last... Wenzel is German. This is the last person you want to be angry at.
Yeah.
But also, as a young player himself, he
did run over Michael Wenzel. He got up and shoved him. He said, get out of my way. And he fell down like I don't even know,
striker.
Like a popsicle stick. He fell down like a striker. He fell down like a leaf in the wind, as one does.
I'm not mad at any of the strikers. If I see them flying when they get touched, that's normal.
And I appreciate a guy like Celio Pompeu because I interviewed him last year. He had a play where he could have gone down and flopped a bit out of the contact and maybe got a pen. He went and stuck it out. He ended up missing the shot, but he said, I'd rather take it into my own hands, not flop and try to make the play happen through contact because I know it's not 100% that the foul is going to get called. But I know 100% if I have a chance, then I have a chance. It's not dependent on someone else.
Yeah, that one is that gray area where it's rough.
And I think that's the right thing. I think it shows a lot about his character that he's not going to take the easy way out. I like that about Celio. I think he's a great player in that sense. I'm glad he's getting the start after having a lackluster performance. Critch, I thought maybe wouldn't start him today because of he had that excessive turnovers last match, lack of production on that left side, getting through, especially in the second half, just a lot of turnovers. But I gotta hope, I'm glad that he's back in the lineup just because he's such a spark plug on offense that he can get something going on that left side, especially with Jay Reed next to him.
Yeah, I think it's probably. Oh, let's see if that.
There we go. Joey Zelensky on the right side. A great defensive play. That's Houston Dynamo number 2. That's Franco Escobar, the Argentinian right back, 30 years old. What a play from him.
Is that who that was the St. Louis favorite player when they played?
It might be.
Park last time?
It might be. So I'll say this. I remember my favorite moment. The first game I went to as a media member for City. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's
City player takes a hard fall. I think that was maybe that Alfredo Morales, maybe.
We'll have to run it back.
Either that or Celio. He's still down, I think. He's back up. Jeez, that was a tough fall. I think it might have been Simon.
Now, because there was advantage, so they wanted to just keep playing. Oh, that's Morales.
It is Alfredo Morales. He's still on the ground.
In the back of his neck?
Holding the back of his head. This is a dangerous situation. You got to hope he's all right here.
So the ref should have stopped it right there.
Yeah, he should have. The play should not have went on there. That's a fact. Medical team, we'll go with that. I guarantee MLS will switch away from this coverage in a second just to give him privacy during an injury. They'll show the play again to see what happened. He fell onto his hip.
Oh, yeah, head.
And you see
bounce.
that head bounce, right? You see that's they call it a counter coup injury because your brain actually sits in a fluid. And it's like a soup, and that soup can slosh side to side, right? So when you're going like this, it's how you see a concussion happen. You're actually bruising one side of your brain against your skull. When you see that kind of bounce, yeah, that's not great because you want those neck muscles to kind of take some of the brunt of the force. But it looked like that might have been a little bit more serious there for Alfredo. Gotta hope he's all right here. Still on the ground.
Charlie, look at you. You even give up some neuro and physical.
Yeah, it looks like they were just checking out his clavicle on the right side to make sure nothing was wrong there, especially when you land on that shoulder. If you can press it in the wrong way, this clavicle right here, or collarbone, some people call it the breastbone, could get injured there. And that's a bad injury just because your shoulder has to be immobile for so long. You lose mobility in your shoulder, then it becomes a different problem, and it's a slippery slope there. But I think Alfredo's all right here, which I'm glad.
Man, Charlie, thank you. Look at that. We even got medical information.
Well, I'll tell you this. My favorite, as I was saying before he got injured, I was saying my first game I went to, CONCACAF Champions Cup, St. Louis versus Houston in Energizer Park. Jose Kojima, 92nd minute, score from the edge of the box to make it 2-1. They ended up losing on aggregate because they didn't score a goal away. But, like, what a moment. That crowd got super, super loud at Energizer Park for a CONCACAF Champions Cup game. And boy, that was a great first impression because Jose Kojima was just a stud. He was getting a chance because it was a CONCACAF Champions Cup game. And that was a great moment. I just remember.
Oh, remember it fondly too. And that's how those special moments in soccer that you'll always remember. I don't even remember the score. I just remember the last minute score that he had.
Yeah. It's like Alfredo's going to be all right. He jogged back and forth. Looks like he can run. As he'll come back onto the pitch in about a minute time. For the meantime, it's 11 on 10. Minus keepers, it'll be a 10 on 9 for players in the field. Houston Dynamo running around the left side. Around Joey Zielinski, trying to go through that side. It looks like back four from bottom to top. Joey Zielinski, JGR. Michael Wenzel, JGR. And Jay Reed on the top, left back. Alfredo's back in. No Kyle Hebert this game.
All right.
JGR and Wenzel so far in the back line, 11 minutes through. Ball inside. Little fishy. Wenzel clears it out. This one is off of a Dynamo player to be a goal kick.
Escobar.
So Escobar again. A defensive player getting in the mix. Goes off of his number.
Yeah, it looks like Zielinski and Wenzel looks like they
got tied up.
Play defense, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's off of number 8. Pardon. Number 8. That is Amin Bassi, the right winger for them.
That's my countryman.
He's the Frenchman.
Yes, it is.
27-year-old from France.
Oh, it looks like Morales is done.
Is hurt again.
I think they call him. I think the way he fell and he's holding his head.
Concussion protocol.
Yeah, it looks like the referee's making the executive decision.
And the ref does have the power to do this. The ref can remove anyone if they see as fit, right?
Yeah, and you see how his eyes closing his eyes and walking. You can pretty much see that on the field that a player's not doing well. And
you can see that. So the major symptoms of concussion, you see that sensitivity to light, and they're still poking around in his collarbone here. It makes me a little nervous just because that clavicle, there's a lot of nerves right here that run down from your neck. It's called your brachial plexus on your arm right here. I've had some issues on my left arm with the brachial plexus, but it's a slippery slope once you get into that nerve stuff, nerve damage, that kind of stuff. Nerve pain is unlike anything I've felt before. So
he needs to be taken.
Yeah, I think he's going to come off here. I think you might see Kyle Hebert come in and JGR shift up to the 6 maybe and take Alfredo's place. Alfredo obviously not happy that he has to come out, but probably the right decision. I'll make sure to ask about that in the post-game presser.
Yeah, you definitely see when the referee see, and I'm sure the referee was keeping an eye on him as well. Oh, you got it wrong. Akil Watts coming in.
I'm surprised by that since he got taken out after 45 for I would say the worst start of his City career. The worst 45 minutes he's played in a City kit. As he was just, it was an odd.
He was not alone,
and he single-handedly gave up a goal.
Yes.
And it was just not a good performance by any measure. So you hope he can play a little better here as Akil is going to come on number 20 for St. Louis City in that beautiful Confluence kit.
Yeah, but yes, we are both St. Louis fans. We'll call ourselves.
So yeah, Morales. This will not count towards a sub window since it's an injury substitution.
Yeah, so does that mean that windows? Houston gets another one as well?
Yes, yeah, that'll be the case if they want to use it. I honestly doubt they make 6 subs. It is a little bit hot in Houston right now. I'm not sure the exact temperature. Not sure if they showed it earlier, as it'll be a throw-in for Zielinski here. He'll go backwards towards Michael Wenzel. Michael Wenzel will go to JGR, and they'll slowly go to the left side.
A free sub, you might as well take it. If
it's true. I mean, you get some fresh legs out there. You never know if you get something at the end, especially City giving up a lot of goals in the last 20 and 10 minutes, especially in the last couple matches. As here we go. Schau Klaus cuts it back, waits, trips over the ball a little bit, as he almost always does. Which is, it's okay. It's part of his thing. Honestly, it's impressive how he can almost trip over the ball 8 times and still score and turn around and score a banger of a goal, like a golazo. Yeah, after looking like maybe guy. He does. He reminds me of, this is not a bad thing. He reminds me of a baby giraffe, kind of learning how to walk a little bit. You know that? You ever seen those? They got the long limbs. They're kind of clumsy a little bit. That's Schau Klaus to me. But if that giraffe could absolutely plant a soccer ball anywhere they wanted in a what is it, 15 by 5 goal? How tall is a soccer net?
Dude, I'm not sure. I've played so long I've never taken the measurements.
It's 24 feet by 8.
All right. Yeah, and I think it's probably one of his game too, because he's also bow-legged, right? So
yeah.
Okay.
Ambidextrous in that sense. What in tarnation?
Hey.
So maybe thought he was Lewandowski, maybe Holland. He's not.
I don't know. I give him credits for trying.
I think he's going to wake up with a bruise tomorrow and be sorry that he attempted that.
Yeah. I'll give him credits, but as long as he did not have contact with it, I'm good. Because those are usually goals of the year. But like I was saying for Klaus, right, you can see him, he's also bow-legged and he's tall. So he has that crazy way of dribbling and kicking the ball. So I think
it's so much different than Celio's technique, right?
Yeah.
Celio plays off the ball so much. He keeps the ball away from his feet. Maybe, I mean, you see Celio, he's almost got it on a string, right? He'll keep it far from his feet and then quickly pull it in. Klaus is almost always under him or behind him. It's crazy.
Yeah, because he's not that fast. So
as Jay Reed with a good defensive play there, as Akil steps up, trying to keep Houston on the fringes of the box and not let them enter cleanly. So far, doing a great job at it. As Zielinski will fall back, Betcher on that right side, covering
he's
number 8.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is solid perimeter defense. This is what you want to see. You're not letting anyone behind. You still got that 3-man back line with Jay Reed back there, too. Zielinski playing up this one through, and it didn't work out. And if he does get that pass, if Bassi receives that, the Frenchman receives that, Michael Wenzel's still there, and you got to hope he can make the play. That's amazing perimeter defense. Much better than what you saw against Orlando. Much better than what you saw against LA. It may just be because is that Zielinski takes a knock.
That's gonna be an interesting matchup. It sounds like they're on top of each other,
not happy with each other. And Zielinski, he's from Jersey. How about that? Maybe a guy that's not scared to get physical there.
No. Nice.
As Jay Reed with a great play gets separation for himself. This one to Akil Watts, gives it away, gets fouled. There's the call.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa, they say play on. I thought he was pointing to the ground as in, we'll play it from the spot. No, he was saying play on. Wow, that's surprising. So he got mixed up. Oh, and JGR takes a tumble and he's down. They'll slowly get back up as that's a
That was just the
painful.
Aussie football.
That reminds me more of rugby than soccer right there.
Hey,
Jeez.
I will take that. A little bit more physical. Oh,
Yeah. He's gonna say no more. He's saying no more of that. If you do that again, it's just say if you make that kind of foul again, I'm not gonna let you have it. I'm gonna give you yellow that time. And Ponce is, as a striker does, saying, "What did I do? What did I do? I didn't do anything." Kind of responding in the high octave like a 14-year-old does when his mom takes away his PlayStation. So we'll see St. Louis go around the right side here. Joey Zielinski will have it knock off of him. Houston will play it fast. Yeah, and number 9 gets bodied by Simon Betcher. Yeah, boy.
Betcher
smart foul to take. I like it. You're setting the tone. First 20 minutes, there's no really threat of Houston scoring. There's no threat of St. Louis scoring. This is the time to set a tone, right? Say that if you're going to come in like that, if you're going to just play with your head down and try to go through our whole front line and midfield and back line, you're just going to get pushed out of the way. And so what if I get a yellow? You're going to be on the ground for 5 minutes, right? They're saying I'm not going to be scared to be physical, and I'm not going to just sit back and let you come at me like they did with LA and Orlando. They're showing a little bit more fight. They're showing a little bit more aggressiveness, and I like it.
Let's see. Oh, nice settle.
Oh,
Jay Reed, you can't be played like that.
Jay Reed, that's a yellow. So second yellow for City. Is Jay Reed hits a RKO. So UFC 17 is tonight. I think Jay Reed has the wrong sporting event. Maybe he's lined up against I don't even know. I think he might be going against Charles Oliveira. With that. I mean, that's a RKO, that's, and then the ball went off his head indirectly. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I think it's just that nice touch of how he settled the ball. That's like the tricky part where then you turn to the defender, which is Reed this time, and all he has is his hand.
Yeah. I mean, that's the type of move I played against my pillow, pretending I was a WWE superstar when I was about 6 years old. My brother did that to me a couple times, and then say, "Don't cry, mom's gonna find out." So it's one of those things you can't do. So they'll get a kind of mock corner kick here, as they'll get a free kick from about 40 yards to the right side. A good clearance from Jake Girdwood-Reich.
Right. So yeah, and one thing I have tried to highlight too is that you see how this set piece looks a lot different than how we used to cover them before.
Yeah,
where it was more zonal, and I think we were losing all of them.
Yeah,
and this time you can see that looks like they've definitely have worked more on the set piece.
Yeah,
which is
refreshing. For sure. Just gonna highlight St. Louis City 2, unbeaten through 6. They beat the Houston Dynamo 2. 1-0. Emil Jääskeläinen with the 85th minute goal to beat the Hero.
And with a nice turn up too. I don't know if it was a slice of ceremony game, but it was pretty nice.
Look at Girdwood-Reich just dribbling past. That's impressive. Or was that Volum? That was Volum.
That was Volum.
Can't tell them apart sometimes.
Too.
He did draw a foul.
Nice.
Again, I mean, these physical fouls, non-yellows, kind of piling up for Houston. If they keep playing like this, they're going to start to get those cards. You're talking about yellows. You're talking about warnings. And maybe even if they keep doing that, you're talking about maybe a red card.
You're going to start seeing the referee going, 1, 2, 3, and then.
Yeah, you're saying it, but you've had you had a 3-piece combo now. You're talking about you're getting a fries and a drink with this one. You maybe get a yellow card now, right?
Yeah, but hey, was it Houston when I was there? They actually have Bumby, the rapper. I don't know if you know him, but that has his own burger, smash burger type burgers there. So
just had some today. I had some Freddy's on the way back from the radio station.
Let's go! Oh, and I think offside.
Still, what a header! A little bit over the net.
Yes. Hey, Klaus, with his heights, he's a different type of striker. Because I don't think he has the finesse headers. They're more like closer to his shots.
Yeah, they are. They're like they got some pace on them. He's got the type of header that if you catch it wrong, you might break a finger as a keeper. As the Dynamo will play it out of their back end, back right.
Hope that happens to the Dynamo now. All right. Oh, the hands.
Oh, Zielinski gets caught up high. Again, that's what I'm talking about. This is the same stuff I'm talking about. You're talking about these fouls, these contact-heavy fouls. You're not getting a yellow for. I think the next time something like that happens, I think the next time something like that happens, you see a Dynamo player get a yellow card.
Yeah, and
you should.
Yeah, and you saw Betcher showing the finger count too. So
yeah, saying that's 3 physical fouls you have not called. 2 of them on number 9 now, right? So you're saying, when are we going to get the call? When are we going to get the call? Speaking of Joey Zielinski, he was the guy that actually ended up putting that cross in. Klaus shoved a defender to the ground and got called for a foul. It led to a goal.
Also, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will always get those because he's taller and stronger.
Yeah. So City will play it out. Michael Wenzel. This one to JGR, Jake Girdwood Reich. The Sydney-born centerman, or center back. Roman Berkey playing in his black and yellow kit. As Lil Wayne said.
Lil Wayne, I think.
Lil Wayne. That was golden yellow. Pardon me.
Yes.
Sorry. That was
Wiz Khalifa.
It was, and also I'm thinking of
Black
Green and Yellow, the Packers song that Lil Wayne made. I'm a
Oh,
Packers
so-
fan.
oh,
Shout
so
out
he
Packers.
So
He
he
did.
remixed it.
He did Green and Yellow. Wiz Khalifa. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, black and yellow.
For probably
That-
good reason. He hasn't done. I mean, again, I think
Oh,
that
he
should be a
does.
yellow.
Oh, he
Are they
does.
saying that's not a foul?
No,
That is
nope.
outrageous. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa is
So
on
we have a
another
hu-
business that you probably you want to stay away from.
Yeah. So this ref maybe has some in-laws in the Dallas or Houston area as he lets that foul go. Saying to all the aunts and uncles, come down, watch me ref. Maybe I'll give y'all a show. And he's doing that so far.
But I think from what I'm starting to see now, I think he's probably doing the whole remorse thing where, referees sometimes when they do a lot of yellow cards,
Yeah.
then they're starting to think maybe they're setting the wrong precedents. So you see the first yellow that he gave Zielinski was
Very
way
early.
too quick.
Yeah, very,
Right?
very early.
Yeah,
It
so
shouldn't
I
have been a
think
yellow,
now
right?
he's kind of
But
tape
in
it
that
down.
sense, I think some referees also feel the need to even it out, right? They say, I want to make it equal. I want to try to make myself as because as a referee, your main goal should be, of course, to kind of anchor the game, referee the game, control the game, and almost adjudicate the game, right?
Yeah.
But also to be as non-involved as possible. You don't want to be the reason a team loses or wins. You don't want to be a huge impact for either side. So I think it'd make more sense if you say, well, if I give a foul for this light contact, then I might as well give a yellow for this very hard contact that happened 3 times on the Houston side. I think that would make more sense than the yellow's remorse that you're talking about there.
Oh, well, we'll balance it, but yes,
Yeah.
referees should be seen, not heard.
Oh, for sure.
But I can definitely see how physical St. Louis is to Houston. So
Yeah.
It looks like maybe that was the whole part of last game, right? Where when they came in a little too soft and then they allowed 3 goals. So I think it looks like this was the different discussions of like, we're going to run through a wall first before we.
And I think it's purposeful. You have that 20-minute, 30-minute strike of physicality. You say that we're not going to let this happen. You're not going to be able to run through us and not have some contact, right?
Right.
I don't care if it's foul or not. You're not going to not have contact, right? So, and that has so far resulted in 0.00 XG. But I think that's purposeful, right? You don't need a goal in the first 80 minutes. Of course, you would like it. But if you're setting the tone physically, I doubt the other team's going to score one. And 2, you're setting the precedent for the rest of the game, saying we're going to control the pace. We're going to control what's good and what's bad here because we were physical first. Even if like the Houston Dynamo players don't believe that, subconsciously, when another team makes a move like that or another team's physical, you have some kind of flight or fight instinct, right?
100%.
We're going to need a foul here.
Yeah. And then
As
after that's when you try to retaliate, and then actually get you a yellow card.
Yeah. You retaliate, or you are lack thereof you lack physicality. It's either one of those. And if you lack physicality, then that's the time for the other team to start introducing
that was
more
a
tactics
soft
there.
push.
It was. They called that again, Betcher? I thought they called
No, that was.
foul.
I think that was still the Klaus. header.
No, I was looking at the one that the Dynamo just had, not the replay,
Oh.
but yeah, the replay was definitely close.
So
Still a kind of slow-paced match. For non-soccer enthusiasts, this may seem very boring. But, I mean, if you read a little bit between the lines, if you maybe look a little deeper than surface level, if you have it less as a background noise and more as a main focus, as me and Mo do right now, you'll see the kind of unfolding of setting the tone, the physicality we've seen so far as Hartel gets fouled hard again. I think Betcher's saying 1, 2, 3. That's 4 times now where you've had physical fouls. You're not calling anything, right?
Yep.
And Klaus is saying it too. You're saying, hey, he did that same thing under there, and you gave him a yellow. Like, what are you doing? Get over there and start calling these, because I think it's a little bit unfair right now. You're seeing the yellow's remorse, and it's at the detriment of St. Louis. As here comes Joey Zielinski inside to Simon Betcher on the right side now. Klaus was running in. He gets back on side. This one, Vollum. Oh, spikes on spike collision. They're both okay. Wenzel plays it in. That's a good ball to nobody.
Yes.
Thought that was going to Celio, I'm not going to lie. Angle deceived me. Klaus, again, hands up. He's saying, let's get up here, guys. Come on. Let's go. He's looking for that press. Klaus is saying, let's get up here. Let's looking for the press.
Don't turn your back too much on the keeper.
Don't turn your back. I mean, you don't want to let this team go in. Because even though the Houston Dynamo might be towards the bottom of the Western Conference, right? Same as City SC is. They still have the ability to score. These are still pro soccer players, and you can't give them too many chances, or else they're going to hurt you at some point, right?
And they're much higher than us still, so.
Yeah. So Roman's going to play that one in his box. So 30 minutes in. So far, a pretty even game. Slow pace on the term of scoring. High, fast-paced, and physicality so far. It's been the name of the game, physicality.
Trying to watch also the media to see what people are saying. It looks like the biggest talk that's currently happening now is that City once again now will have someone in the injured list.
Yeah, you're talking about 7 players now injured,
which is
the most all season.
So is Tuchel
let's count
injured?
it out.
I kind of missed that part. Tuchel, is he out
for Dynamo?
Injured or?
Who are you talking about? Tuco. You meant Dynamo?
Tuchel.
Yes,
I will keep messing his name.
No, he's on the bench, I think. He's on the bench.
Okay, so he's on the bench. All right.
So you have Rasmus Alm, Joachim Nielsen, Henry Kessler, Alfredo Morales. What else do you have on there? Timo Baumgartel. Who else was on that list? Let me look at my phone. Betcher took a spike to the ankle there. It seems as though he did. I think he did take a little spike to the ankle there.
I didn't see water break.
They are going to say water break here. Okay, Rasmus Alm, Timo Baumgartel, Chris Durkin, Henry Kessler, Edu Leuven, and Joachim Nielsen. Now adding Alfredo Morales to that list. 7 players, the most all season.
7 players, and we're talking 6 starters?
Yeah. We're talking about... well, I don't know if Joachim or Rasmus are right now, just because they've been absent for so long.
But I guess technically, if they were healthy and part of the...
I think about Nielsen going in. I don't know about Rasmus.
Yeah, we almost kind of don't even know where he's at.
I think your best 11 back 2 would be Kessler, Baumgartel, then Totland, and not Reed. I mean, I would love to say Giannis Horn. He's technically still in a contract with the team. I still don't know why they didn't pick up his option. He was your best left back. He's a very
that was his choice.
Oh, really?
Wanted to go back to Europe, family as well. And I think I forget the team that he will be signing to, and he's looking at Champions League soccer. So
yeah, fair.
Yeah, maybe if City was in a different situation, maybe in the picking order from last year and this year, maybe that may have persuaded him a little bit more. But it is Champions League soccer, and can't really follow him on that, especially on the experience that's he's getting now, and even playing with your best friends, it's not enough, unfortunately. but he was sitting when I was at the game. He was sitting in like the family and
Yeah,
friends
he was
section.
who I was as a fan.
Yes. So I'm just fortunate enough that I get to see these guys that don't play. Right behind, if you turn around and you look right. That's why I tell people at the game too, they need to pay attention when they walk around the hallways. You do not know who you're going to walk by. So you might see your favorite player from City if they're not on the roster playing. If they're and so let's take a look. All right, so it looks like there's not much to write home about when it comes to shots opportunities, total shots on target, zeros.
Yeah, zeros.
And only total shots for Houston, 3. And my apologies. I will say Houston, Austin. I keep messing it up. Even when I was in Austin, I was saying Houston. So it's a work in progress.
Yep.
All right. So how are you feeling about the All-Star?
I'm probably not going to watch it. No City players. I got no reason to. That's my off day.
What? You got to have all the Mexican team All-Stars against MLS All-Stars? No?
Right now, hey, if they pay me to cover MLS, I'll do it.
Makes sense. I don't know. I'm thinking this. Don't be surprised if you hear me. I'm there completely.
Oh, for sure. Where is it at?
In Austin.
Oh, nice.
So, right now it's a no, but there's still a slight chance. Knowing that my sister-in-law now lives there, and it's about 10 minutes from Q2 Stadium.
Yep.
So, let's see what logistic looks like. But but I think and then City plays against Aston Villa, which during almost the same playoff. All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
It sounds like so. It's gonna be an interesting time. All right, so it looks like Houston is trying to unlock City defense. Wallen playing rough. That's a bad tackle. Come on.
Oh, yeah, Wallen with great defense and no yellow. That's like the 6th physical foul Houston's had. No yellow. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's gonna have to start pulling something.
Yeah, come on. I'm gonna start pulling out the yellow card.
I think I'm gonna have to pull one for my green screens from our good friends, the City refs. All right, so have you been watching much of the Club World Cup? How's you feeling about that?
Yeah, I've been watching the Club World Cup a bit. I will say there's been so many games. I didn't get to catch. Did Benfica win today?
Oh, come on, my friend.
Oh, they lost 4. My bad. Sorry,
but it was
Benfica falls. Yes. Palmeiras beats Botafogo.
Yes, the Palmeiras was a boring game. It just happened that Palmeiras got lucky on that goal that Botafogo was.
Also, I think the best match of the Club World Cup will happen tomorrow with Miami versus PSG.
Oh, there's your yellow.
There you go.
Nice.
About time. That should count as 2 yellows for 2 separate players. I don't know. I don't care why.
But the
wow,
thing is,
he is wow.
But the thing is,
oh my gosh,
is that this is probably not a yellow.
I think it is. He clotheslined him.
No, watch. Just watch the hand compared to all of the other foul. Klaus kind of sold that. He sold it.
Oh, he did for sure.
Yeah,
but it's about time, right? And number 2, I'm surprised. Number 2 almost got one from dissent too. I mean, he is screaming in the face of the ref at that point, right? So now you got a dangerous free kick.
Yeah, but that's what happens, right? All of the crazy fouls.
It's about time you make up for one, you know. And he just happened to be the guy in the area, and it's wrong place, wrong time, and he gets the yellow. But
who's down?
Oh, geez, that looks like Marcel Hartel. Nope, he is taking the kick. I'm
that's
dumb.
Becher.
Oh, geez.
Is that 11?
Simon, come on, Simon.
But did you see the run from Klaus? That was all.
I did. It was nice, and he had that little back heel flick. Get around. I mean, Houston needs to get away from Simon Becher right now. This is making me a little mad here.
But Petra is good at getting in your head.
But still, you need to get away from the player who might be injured. I don't care if he's flopping. I don't
Oh,
care
you're
if he's
talking about
actually
around
injured.
as of like, yes.
No, I'm talking about, I don't care if he's flopping. I don't care if he's actually injured. Get away from the player who's on the ground, right?
Yeah, that's where Venso just goes.
And now they're saying, come over here. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, that Ponce right there. Just no, that's a card.
That's a card and a half. Come on. Are you telling me that the referee missed that?
No, VAR need to call them.
VAR needs to call a yellow and or something more, because that is outrageous. That is not soccer. That is not a soccer play. That is not an accident. That is purposefully trying to hurt another player, and that's stupid. No, that is stupid.
And what I'm thinking is, like, you play that in street soccer, the guy will turn around and punch you in your face.
Yeah, seriously, you're getting punched for that. Yeah. Like if you do that in anywhere but like an organized soccer league, you're getting punched.
Oh yeah, he got lucky on that one.
He's gonna get something later. It's fine. He'll get a physical foul later, and I just want City to score right here and then celebrate right in that guy's face.
And that'll be a payback.
Yeah, I really hope so. I think you're a little bit ahead of me, so I'm hoping to hear you cheer.
Okay, so I will hold even if they score.
It would just be awesome to celebrate in this guy's face right now.
It's the best payback.
It would be amazing. Right, like laughs right in the guy's face. Okay, well that did not go, but maybe I got a chance here, maybe. All right, look, hey Marcel, no foul. That's physical play.
Wow,
let it play on. Oh, come on! That's a flop and a half. See, he's already back up, holding the back of the head like he got spine surgery, dude. You barely got touched. Come on.
I don't know. Zelensky's becoming my favorite player at this moment right there.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, dude, come on. I was just talking before all that debacle happened with Betcher. PSG versus Miami tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's going to be a great match.
I'll be doing a watch along. So if you're freak, let's do it.
We'll see. I might pop in for a halftime or something, or I might be sleeping in tomorrow. We'll see.
Hey, get your sleep in, but yeah, that's the game I cannot miss. So
that's going to be very exciting. Yeah, that's I think the most important one for me. And the Gold Cup's been exciting too.
Yes,
tomorrow you have U.S. versus Costa Rica at 6 p.m.
Wow, man, we're spoiled as soccer fans. We don't have enough time in the day to watch.
So Gold Cup quarterfinals tomorrow. That's what it is.
So, and I think those will determine who we get to see play at Energizer Park.
I think it'll be Mexico and USA, maybe.
Ooh,
if they win,
or Canada, Mexico,
or Canada.
Canada, US.
I think US is almost guaranteed if they win.
Yeah, but I think that's probably. I think US soccer wants it to happen at Energizer
Park. That's why you wear shin guards right there. As he kicked another player's shin, and he is kind of living. I mean, look at that, 10 fouls committed. Wow, and 1 yellow, by the way, and 4 for St. Louis and 2 yellows. That's outrageous.
The math does not add up.
Yeah, the math isn't mathing right here. No. Come on, that is stupid.
That is, yeah.
Look, Houston with more than 2 times the fouls, but City with with 2 times the cards. What?
Yeah, that.
How does that one work, y'all?
Oh, Jake,
that was a knuckler. No, that was a bad ball. But you saw that, though. It knuckled a bit in the air. It's not the spin you wanted to get on that ball.
Yeah, that's when you need more repetition. That means
that's just
yellow. What's happening now?
On the bench for delay a game?
No, I think that. What in the world?
Yeah, it's on the bench. They say you can't touch the ball.
What do you mean can touch the ball?
He said.
Did he give Silva a yellow?
He gave Jane Silva a yellow card.
Is that who had, right?
What is this referee doing? No, respectfully, I think this person's probably a good person, right? You know, I'm not going to say anything personally against him, but this is absolutely horrible at doing his job right now. You think about any other profession, if you mess up this much, you're fired, right? But as a ref, you're just like, oh, another day at work.
Suspension.
Jeez.
But you're more worried about what just happened there. Maybe he passed the ball so that you... Oh my goodness!
Don't take a yellow. Oh my gosh!
No, he's not going to give him a yellow for that.
I would actually be livid. I'd be mad, like mad, if he gave me yellow for that.
Yeah, you gotta set the precedence. If you want to keep flying yellows, like every time there's a foul, just give it.
Yeah, we'll have a 3v3 by the end of the match.
Yeah. Oh, that might be a goalkeeper.
That sounds kind of exciting. I'm actually not. I'm not opposed to that. But everyone would be suspended next match. You'd have a City 2 versus Dynamo 2.
Well, I wouldn't be too mad about that team
because City 2 won. Yeah, it's fair assumption. I agree. So it'll be the Frenchman to take it. Here's the corner, or not
free
the corner,
header.
the free
All
kick.
right. Yeah,
Berkey's got
Bassi,
it.
every time he plays at Andrews National Park, he's injured. So
And Roman gives it straight back to him. Just a misplay from Roman Berkey, a rare misplay while distributing the ball.
Right, nice, Wallen.
Yeah, good play by Vollum to get around Bassi there.
Right,
Zielinski up to Hartel. Betcher loses it.
So let's see how this counter. All right. Houston is also being sloppy, which definitely helps City. All right, so I say,
Ben Lunt got the yellow card.
Oh, Ben,
okay.
Of all people, come on.
Yeah, what are you giving Ben for? What are you giving Ben a yellow for? He's like the nicest guy on the team. He's like, come on, he's not doing anything
like
malicious.
The nicest guy.
Yeah, he is the nicest guy ever. Why are you giving him a yellow? He's not doing anything. That's probably his first yellow in his career. I guarantee you that.
Especially off of the bench.
Oh yeah, come on. He's not like getting in any fights or anything.
Yeah, that's a weird
Simon
one.
Fighting for the ball.
Like what?
Still with it. Yeah, that's steady ball. Thank you.
Man, this is a physical game.
Yeah, this is like hockey almost. Their players shoulder to shoulder.
I'm not mad at it. I kind of like it. But
yeah, it's exciting to watch.
But there's one thing that's kind of missing from all this excitement of being more aggressive. Still no shots.
Yeah,
on
for
target.
either team. Or did that header count as a shot for Houston? I think it might.
No, it did not. It looks
really?
Like.
Okay.
Maybe unless FobMob is not updated, but
I'll tell you this: I still think that VAR should look, or it should have been a yellow or more because of that elbow to the side.
Yeah, they should have told the referee to go and watch the video because clearly he bumped him. I don't know if it was more maybe Betcher sold it a little bit as well, but
still, the action.
There you go, nice.
Of doing this, right? That's not a soccer play. That's not. No. It's a dead ball. The play is not live.
Yeah, no.
Right? So there's no idea. I have no idea why a player would go yellow. Ahead and try. That's a yellow. No, he's already got a yellow. That's why it's not.
Oh yeah.
But he's delaying the game now. Yeah, come on. He's going close here.
Betcher's pulling the Italian.
He said, "Hey,
he's like
the gabagoo. I get there.
Like, don't you think that's enough here? Come on,
Joey Zielinski, Sopranos, Godfather.
The Jersey
he's getting into it, dude.
Hey, Betcher spent enough time in St. Louis U, so
he's
next to the Hill.
He signed jerseys at the Hill too.
Yeah, so I'm sure he got a little bit of that Italian flavor that he got from the Hill.
He had that wasn't it National Meatball Day or something like that? No, it was National Toaster Ravioli Day.
Oh,
the day that he did some signings and stuff at the Hill.
Yeah,
he had a big thing for that. I was like, "There's no way they're not going to buy out his loan because you're not going to do this much promotion with a guy that you're not going to keep."
You never know. Come on,
Klaus running on the side.
I definitely have to say I'm very impressed by the back four of these, three of these young guys. They've definitely showed that they have the composure of it.
Yeah, keep playing. Good no call there from the ref. First good call from the referee. Here's Vollum. Played inside to Klaus. Just a hair off.
All right, nice.
Still going here. Pompeu. Shot. Still blocked as Houston is not letting anything through. Just good defense so far from Houston. But I think it was a good no call right there from the referee.
Yeah, and it's like for Celio, the only thing I'm kind of missing from here now is that, when he first came back, go. Come on, Reed. No. Oh, that was.
Is that not a point to
spot? Come on.
Oh.
Come on, go.
Jeez. I think what should happen at the halftime, I'm not encouraging it, but I think this is what I think will happen. I think they'll go to someone who may not play next game, like a Michael Wenzel, and be like, go to yellow and knock down number 10. Go get some revenge for Betcher. Like not a player who's got some accumulation, not a player who's going to get suspended, but Michael Wenzel doesn't have a yellow card all season, right? He may not play next match, so it doesn't matter as much if he maybe gets carded, right? You talk about, I've heard stories of this, right? You're talking about getting some revenge for your guys, or you're getting even, right? And you're talking about a player that may not be, if you're missing Michael Wenzel, it's not like missing Shao Klaus.
Yeah, but we know Wenzel though. He can find himself to get.
He can. He's got. He can turn it on. He can turn it on if he wants to.
He's got red card too. So
he does
in
his career.
Probably not for City, the first team, but I'm pretty sure with City too, he's gotten some. So I'm sure he's not afraid of getting it, but he's capable of.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my goodness!
Now speak of Michael Wenzel, he's on the ground after a head-to-head collision.
All right, so then it's starting to look like so from my playing days, from what you can see here, right? All of these guys now are falling with head issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the referee needs to stand up with all of the captains. Oh yeah, that's a bad one right there.
I'd say we're doing something wrong, guys. This is like we're endangering the safety of the players, right?
Yeah, so that's where you call the two captains and you're like, hey guys, we're getting there where I will start giving more yellow than I've already started.
Yeah.
And that's what's currently happening. But I don't think that's aggressive. That's just two people going for the ball and they happen to. So I think the extra 7 minutes might end up being like a extra 10, 12.
Extra 12, yeah.
13 minutes.
So, Mo, I'll tell you this. I'm going to head out after halftime. I got to, or after the first half ends, I got to finish up some school stuff.
School.
Yeah. Got some college classes I'm taking this year.
Nice. Look at you.
As we got a makeshift bandana.
Bucket hats. Wow. You hate Austin more than Kansas?
That's kind of crazy.
I
mean, they're both dirty. They're both dirty. Houston and Kansas City, they're both dirty.
We might have to talk offline after that. I need the backstory of that. And I know we've had a few history, on I think Escobar was one, that famous red card at City Park, and I think or Energizer Park, but I still have that video of him walking down the tunnel. But are they going to tell him to walk out? Is he done for the day? Because
is he just have a weird hairstyle now? Yeah, what's going on here?
If Physio step up their games, those Band-Aids all have the same color, matches their kit.
Yeah.
So do you think that maybe Olsen, that he's a City guy, St. Louis guy, that he's kind of prepare his team to play the aggressive St. Louis style soccer?
I just think that's how Houston plays in general. That's how the players are as players and people, I think.
So I think he's bringing a little bit of his St. Louis toughness.
Maybe.
Oh, let's take a look. And yes, and also, even though that we are talking about, dirty or ish type of soccer, I also like to highlight, sometimes it is part of the strategy, right? If you there's an aggressive team, that the moment they touch you, you're supposed to fall, or you're supposed to, because St. Louis has that stigma that they will run through a wall to get the ball.
Yeah.
So that every referees will also keep an eye. And I think that probably some of that stigma that you see for us getting yellow cards so quickly, because they're like, hey, St. Louis is an aggressive team, and they most likely will commit fouls.
That's the style of St. Louis soccer, being aggressive and being physical. That's St. Louis soccer.
So I think sometimes that comes with it. That's it. So
Betcher playing good defense. There's headed out by Jake.
Stop calling. That's nowhere near a handball.
Come on, dude! It hit off his head. What are you talking about?
But I think it was like shoulder, but the hand was on the body, and it's like, just stop it.
Yeah, come on.
They're calling handball.
And also the bicycle kick, dude. They're like, this is goofy. This is like some like FC25 stuff. Like, come on.
I mad at that. But I think it would have most likely go against him because then that would be a dangerous play because the defender was so close to you that it's most likely a foot to face moment than you scoring. So I think he probably would have still not gotten it. But see at the replay they're showing, you see that, like
That's not a handball.
That's nowhere near a handball.
That's off his shoulder. Yeah. Come on. It's debatable if people say right above the elbow. That's here, right? No, some people say here, maybe. Some people say below the elbow. Some people say if it's the front of the arm, right? But and they're also grabbing Klaus there. No foul.
Yeah. No, I don't listen to any of that mess.
Oh, Klaus. Oh, he couldn't find it. He had it.
And the handball also, they've watered it down so much that, like, that special joke, we don't know what a handball is because
I don't know what a handball is.
They're
I know what the rule says. I don't know, but it's up to ref discretion so much in the MLS that it's crazy.
Oh no, it's all across the world.
It is for sure.
It's mad, but I guess it works when it happens for your team, and it's the worst thing when it happens against your team. So, I see where the struggle could be.
Yeah.
So
first half about to wrap up.
Happening on the other side of MLS.
So with that, I'm gonna head out and do some schoolwork. I wish you the best in the stream, Mo. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for heading out early, but I'll see y'all later. Go City.
Unacceptable.
And I got the warm milk ready. I'm good. No, I'm joking.
I'm sure Oscar's gonna message you after that.
Do some schoolwork, and then I'll head to bed. Have a good one, y'all.
Take it easy. Peace. All right. So it is just me. Sorry, everybody. Now it is just Mo talking about soccer for probably the next 45 minutes. We might have our good friend Jeremy also join us, but as we're waiting at this moment, make sure you like and follow Top Corner Talk. If you haven't just yet, go ahead and make sure you put the thumbs up. I only see 2 of them, and I know there'll be a lot more of you guys on there. So make sure you hit the thumbs up and let us know what you like about these watch along and what else you would like to see us do. And in the meantime, since we are taking a quick break, I will also myself take a quick water break. It's hot outside. So with that say, we'll see you back in about 5 minutes. All right, everybody. I am back for the second half of this Houston Dynamo versus San Luis City SC. As you can see, we're still 0-0. And, sometimes it certainly help as suspicious as I can be, since I was wearing my regular shirt and City happened to not play as we would expected it, then it's time to make a few changes with the OG kit. It's good to see that the other side of town is currently losing to RSL. So I'm also happy about that part. But now, with that said, can you guys in the comments below let us know what kind of grades are you currently giving first, the game in general, and the second thing, what grade would you give San Luis performance at this moment? Once I see a few of you all give us your stats, then I will let you guys know what my grade is. But as you can see at this moment, based on FODMAP stats, it has not been the greatest. Austin actually gave us a little bit more of that ball, so 53%. But as you can see here, the total shots, 7 Houston and 2 City, but 0 shots on goal for us. So hopefully our 2 goals per game will change on the second half. So as you can see, shots on target, 0. Big chances, 0. Chances missed, 0. That's not a good look. So if we want to win this game, we might have to do a lot better than that. All right, so Ryan, so you gave the game a D- and City a D, and the ref as an F. You know what? I'm good with that. I'm definitely good with that. But also one thing, it looks like City passes have not been the greatest, and finishing or lack of is not there. And also, it looks like maybe this referee needs to set precedents on how he wants to play, because at this moment, it's not looking too good. And we have Jeremy in the house for the second half. So first we had Charlie in the first. Now we have Jeremy in the second. That's what happens when we have so many people in one podcast. You never know who's going to show up.
We've got to run the subs, Mo. We've got to run the subs.
That's right. Because, and Charlie's, doing his work. He's like a sleeping. He's getting a taste of what adulthood is. So
he's graduating from the milk bottle, guys. That's what it is.
Well, from what he said, he might have a warm milk ready. So
we're excited for Charlie. I'm excited when he shared that in our group conversation earlier. Was really excited to see and hear that he's got that kind of first step in the professional world of St. Louis media. So good for him.
Yeah, as long as he does not forget us small people once he reaches there, then
Facts.
We're good, right?
Agreed.
He gets his first award. He's going to come and say, I want to thank Top Corner Talk, Jeremy, Mo, Oscar for, so it's now recorded. So Charlie, remember your speech. But other than that, Jeremy, so have you had a chance to watch a little bit of the game?
I've watched bits and pieces of it. Was listening to it throughout the first half, and unless I've missed something, there wasn't a whole lot to miss. No really big tests for either goalkeeper. I think they said St. Louis has 2 shots. They credited Celio and Betcher with 2 shots somewhere around stoppage time, I think, in the first half. So what I will say, I guess the one big takeaway is the back line hasn't been bad. 3 of the 4 guys changed out. Zielinski, outside of the 2 yellow cards, which the only problem I have, Mo, is the ref. There were so many times I'm trying to figure out how he puts Zielinski in the book in the second minute. He puts Reed in the book later on. And then on the other end of the field, like immediately after, the same thing happens and he just walks away. Nothing happened. Like, where's the consistency in officiating? That's my only gripe. But outside of that, the back line's held strong. Jake Gerwood-Reich and Michael Vincel, that pairing in the middle hasn't been bad. They've had a couple of moments that I've kind of go, ooh, but they've recovered. And Berkey hasn't really been forced into action. So I'm not mad. What about you?
So the ref, we talked about it a lot, and that's exactly what we were saying. And I think for the ref, it looks like he maybe felt that the yellow cards were coming out too much, so I think he kind of tempered himself towards the game. But the fouls were not consistent on what is a yellow card and what isn't. So that one, totally agree. No shots, total shots 2 and 0 on target, 0 big chances, 0 big miss. That's a bad look. So hopefully get a little bit more chances for, we'll say, Klaus to have the opportunity. For the defense, I think it is a good test for the moment for Vincel and Jake, especially that Austin is not pressuring us as much, so that they kind of get their feet together, for an actual game. Yeah. But I think the true test I want to see is when the pressure is on, how they're going to manage. Because I'm impressed at the moment, but they have not had to do as much just yet.
No, I think outside of the defense, the only thing that I liked, Klaus had some really good moments in the first half. That one long dribble where he went around a couple of guys. I think he's the guy that drew the yellow on Ortiz.
Yes.
That was impressive. There were some comments on Twitter saying, is this Klaus or Ronaldinho? I don't know if I'd go that far. But
I called it as of like you could see he's Brazilian, so it can pop out. But yes, Ronaldinho.
But looking at the bench, I guess I'm thinking to myself, okay, we played midweek. Who's on the bench that could change things? The biggest name, I mean, a lot of people are going to probably say Cedric Teukert. He's the biggest name. Ostrak is back from injury, so he might be able to be a game changer. But honestly, the wild card, Jandé Silva. I know he's kind of been one of those guys that fans have liked to go after on social media, saying no service, hasn't done anything. And that's not a completely incorrect statement. But when you've got two teams that are tired, playing midweek, both games in high temperatures, Jandé did not play midweek. He'd be fresh. Might just be what you need to get that bit of a spark if this game is tied, after the 65th minute, especially considering Betcher, and it looks like we have Betcher coming out, as I say his name, Thomas Totland coming in for Simon Betcher.
Oh, is it? Oh, wow.
Oh, so Teukert. No, you're right. It's double sub. So Teukert's in, so it's Tots. So
okay,
Zielinski out for Tots and Betcher for Teukert. Sorry.
No, Betcher's still on.
Is he? I thought they had his 11 up. Or
I think they messed it up.
11 was for, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, he just got his instructions.
Is it Teukert? Who's Teukert in for then? Klaus? No, there's Klaus. Hold on, folks. I got to figure out who he's in for.
Is Watts still there?
Well, but why would you take out Watts? He played less than a full half. He played 30 minutes.
But he was in too because of. Oh no, I think it is. No, he's in the middle. Who's out?
I'm looking to see if we have it on FOTMob yet.
So I see.
So yeah, they have not said. So we'll have to keep that up. We'll have to look and kind of see if we can catch. So wow, the Houston took off Holmes. Holmes was the guy that was really plaguing our back line with speed. Watts
like Wallem went out.
Wallem, okay, so Wallem for Teukert. So Teukert's probably back in the midfield in that kind of 6 role, or I guess an 8 role. Watts playing as a 6.
That's going to be interesting. Where is Teukert now going to do a lot more of the running?
Oh back? No. Hartle dropped low, and Teukert's in the middle.
Okay, so that makes a lot more sense because Hartle is the one that has a lot more of the speed for running back and forth versus Teukert is more of the creative guy up top, but you do not want him to come back and match
Yeah.
defense.
So
Interesting.
it's different. I'm confused. I'm wondering. So I guess the thing I'm curious about there is with Vollum, is it an injury or is it just a planned fitness change because he's coming back from injury still?
I would think it's
And,
probably change fitness. And I think what we were missing as well in the middle is that, the creativity to try to unlock the Austin defense was
Yeah.
not there in the first half. And
true.
there was not much equal, no shots on goal, right?
Yep.
And just looking at here, looks like Harto just passed it to Betcher.
Yeah.
So it looks like maybe he might try to unlock a little bit more. And then Klaus will be doing the running left and right. And you see Tucker stays right below him at all time.
Yeah.
Maybe
The other thing to think of too. So we had to make that injury substitution. So that takes up one of the 3 windows we get. So maybe it's more of it's a change they planned, but they're making it at the half because it doesn't count as a window. That might also be what it is. It could be strategy from Critch. We'll find out after the game. I'm sure someone will ask, and if they don't, I will. But that's what I would imagine will happen, or could have happened too.
Yeah, I think because the middle was definitely quiet. There was no like creativity, pass forwards, or nothing. It was more of what Klaus and Betcher was doing to get the ball up, and then that was it.
Yeah, and we didn't really see much from in the first half was Celio either. I mean, he was kind of just not involved. So to your point, I think I will be curious to see how bringing Tots in can help that as well, because he is a forward-thinking, defender as well.
Right.
So
maybe that's how he's going to unlock Celio.
Yeah, we've got to do something as we have a throw-in now coming into the box. But, I think this is, that's a shot. Something that's a third of the game. Finally, Klaus gets one. It misses the target, but we need more of that, right?
Yes. We need a shots on target.
Yes. Just kind of looking through the chat, seeing a few folks there.
So 41%.
Who bid? How did you get Olivier Giroud in here?
Hey, I don't know. Maybe he's like, hey, my countryman's talking. So,
yeah. One question I'm curious with Giannis Horn on the bench. Does anybody think we'll see Giannis come into this game? I don't think we will. I think he's there as like an emergency sub. But I with him, go ahead, Mo.
No, I wouldn't play him. I mean, he's about to leave and play with another team. You last thing you want is to say, oh, he's injured now, and they won't cancel him going back, but City will have to compensate that team for something.
Yeah.
So
barring a massive surprise or an injury or something, I can't imagine we'd see Giannis. I think it is a short turnaround, but they had 11 days off. I mean, we saw Jay Reed played back-to-back 90s with City 2 and City were going into the break. So I don't know that I have a lot of concerns about Jay fitness-wise.
No, and I think he's been dying to play for so long, and he's young. I mean,
yeah,
he gets it.
Yeah, the thing I was surprised by, and I'm sure it's probably just midweek rotation, Holmes for Houston. The few times I did see them in the first half, he seemed to be really, really fast and was giving our backline some problems, stretching them out a little bit. So it's not. So I'm kind of relieved to see him coming off.
Yeah, did he play midweek? I guess that will be the question.
Oh, I have no idea. I will admit I haven't kept close tabs on Houston. So
good.
I'm not the expert on the Dynamo.
Hey, look, there's a Manchester United fan that was on TV.
Hey, what do you know? Well, smart people.
he was not watching the game though. He was on his phone, so I guess I don't know.
Well, that's fair.
And one thing I've seen also is that it doesn't look like Austin is like really trying to go forward, except in those one occasions, and they're more happier for City to have the ball and then take that one or two chance.
And there's finally a save from Berkey. So Berkey, is that his first or probably a second save of the night? But Yeah,
Yeah, he
well,
probably touched
I
the
think
ball.
Houston has done a very good job. Yeah, Houston seemed to do a decent job too of like their counter press of when they lose it, they press immediately and really like there was one sequence I did see where they forced I think 2 high turnovers and kind of kept some pressure on us. I guess a little harsh. I think the second one wasn't a turnover. I think it was Betcher tried to clear it and got tackled. But I mean, Houston did a fairly decent job of getting the ball into the final third. They just didn't get past the city defense at all.
Why is he? One thing I have to say though is, he's calling for a sub. One thing I
Yeah.
have to say though is this referee's awful at when a player's injured and showing that it's a head injury.
Mm-hmm.
He does not call the game at the moment, even though we appreciate when you let the play go. But the rule is when it's holding their head, so hand injury or possible, you stop the game there. And this is the 4th, 5th time now that this happened.
Yeah, it's been funny, or not funny, but interesting to watch that how many other times he's just blown it dead and stopped the game. But in the ones where you think he is going to, like these head injuries, he doesn't. It's been interesting to say the least.
So is he hurting the head or that's his leg? Because now he's
looks like a
talking to
thigh.
the feet. Yeah, but he was holding his head.
Yeah,
maybe it is his tired. Then the referee was, I guess, right not to call it.
Yeah, I can't quite tell.
But I think he looks done. You see, putting his head down,
Shevchenko,
shaking it.
Yeah, Sivachenko.
Yeah, he's done. You can tell by the face.
Yeah, body language tells you everything. Ponce coming over to say, "Hey, it's all right." So his night's done.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, you can always tell right after the play. Those players' expressions. They give them away pretty obviously there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So Bartlow comes on for Sivachenko. I'm butchering that last name, but that's okay.
You only have to say it once or twice a year.
That's right. That's right. What did you think of Ben Lunt's yellow card in the first half, by the way?
I saw it, and we were trying to figure out who got it. So was it because he touched the ball?
He threw the ball away. The ball came out to the bench,
right.
And instead of just kicking it forward, he tossed it way down the line.
He's a goalie. He's warming up. It's just a stupid thing.
Well, I thought by the reaction it was Jande.
That's what I was saying.
He was the one talking to the ref. I'm like, did Jande just get a yellow? I'm like, I hope not, because we might need him.
And that's why I was like, all right, he got one. We know. But then we saw Ben with it. I'm like, the nicest guy. But I think referee's looking at the wrong game then, because there's plenty of other foul to worry about than, a backup goalkeeper tossing the ball away.
Can we just talk for a second about how different Klaus looks with a little bit of confidence now? Like,
scary.
Is it insane to me? Like, he just looks like a completely different player now.
2023 player.
Yeah, I mean, even I know that we haven't really played well in this game at all. Mm-hmm. But Klaus, in the moments he's been involved, he just looks like a player reborn.
Yeah, look at him where he's at now. He's right next to Reed. That's supposed to be our 9.
Yeah, I mean, he's going all over the place, back, forth, forward, backward, involved, linking up play, trying to do everything that he can. But it's just the confidence on the ball that I see from him.
Hey, that scoring goals for a striker, that's all they need.
Yeah.
But now we just need other guys to do the same.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the way this game has gone. I don't think my 2-2 prediction in the app is going to be right.
Hey, I got 2-0.
City or
of course.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I heard I saw some people on social media saying they didn't have hopes at all for this game and were chalking it up as bad as a 2-0 loss or a 3-1 loss.
I don't. I stopped. How we call it? You probably saw me less in social media, like the Twitter and all that as much. But I think the doomsday discussions, right? it's part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the team is not playing well. Yes, you have different expectations, but yeah, doomsdays. It
Yeah.
it
And
gets to you after a point.
no, it does. Like but I mean, on the flip side of that, I don't think we're going to go out and light the world on fire and win, 9 of the next 16 games or whatever we have left now. I mean, it's
No.
just not.
And they will have to show us, right? We have to see that one game, like this is protecting the ball like he did, Tottenham just did. I
Yeah.
like that, right? But
Yeah.
I think is this also the MLS thing that we know that there's always a slight chance,
Mm-hmm.
but then the discussion, comes around with other things as well, and then a lot of the finger pointing, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, frankly, I don't think there's going into this game to get near whatever that cutoff for the playoffs was, would have had to have like 2 points from every game. So I don't have a pipe dream of saying we're going to make the playoffs. That's not happening. I think though it's about finishing the season and figuring out ways to improve, and whether that means it's Critchley getting these guys to win a few games. Maybe you win 5 or 6 of the games and end with 8 wins on the season, something along those lines. But you've got to figure out a way to I really think evaluate this roster and figure out the path forward. The transfer window opens in 30 days now, something like that, about 30 days away from the transfer window. We've got 10 guys, I think, out of contract at the end of the season who some have options, some don't. As far as your point about the doomsday finger pointing thing, like my opinion, Mo, this season's ugly no matter what you do. I don't see unless you're going to talk about the finger pointing be to say, well, are we going to make changes, and is it time to, is Critch the right guy, or is it time for Lutz to go, or is Diego doing, like, it's hard to say. None of us are in the room, none of us know what's happening, so it's just difficult to say, but I don't think it's constructive necessarily.
And we're talking, you're like one transfer away from then everybody's saying that you're a genius.
Yeah.
Or you're one of a streak, right? 3 games in a row winning, then conversation changes. You have those, spending versus not spending. I understand all that, but there's also, I guess, walls in MLS. That's different. We also have to pay attention to that. We also have to remember that this is year 3. When you try to compare your team to a MLS 1.0 or MLS 2.0, or even a team that was maybe in the USL first and then moved to MLS, those owners and all that have kind of, oh, come on, pitcher. Oh, that's a foul right there. That has to be a foul.
Close. Yeah, they didn't call it.
Be a foul. What?
No call.
That's stupid. You see? But
and now Houston's in.
So those are the things I look at when I don't jump too much on those. It's just for that. Yeah. It's like, how many of those factors are we talking? You're like, oh, Atlanta spent all this money. Yeah, but guess what? They're bad at this moment. Oh, Cincinnati is a newer team, but they were a USL team first. And then they sucked for 3 years and then started to spend money. So it's like, I've been with Chelsea, dude. Chelsea's my team for the past 3.5 years. We were awful, even though we just spent $1 billion. But guess what? We're still not up to par, right?
If you think Chelsea's bad, go look at Manchester United and their spending bill.
Well, yeah, I think you guys got a lot worse. In the numbers may not be high, but yeah, your spending was bad. But those are the things that we're, when so much of those factors that you look into. And that's why I look at it and say, still 3 years old. And
Well,
we have
yeah, I mean,
one family owning the team.
well, and talk about other expansion teams, right? Like, how long did it take Cincinnati to get good? I think they had like
3
3,
wooden
4, 5
spoons.
years of being terrible.
Yeah.
And
So
then they
like wooden
finally,
spoon teams.
yeah. But and that's what we were projected to be. I just, for all of this conversation, I just think that first year, the overperformance in the first year is what killed this. Is what hurts, because if we wouldn't have done that, then I think we'd be like, okay, you know what? We'd be that's the conversation we'd be having. If we didn't overperform, it would be okay, we're getting better, we're trying to build, we're doing this. But because we were so good year one, expectations went way off the charts, and we've come crashing back down, and we're just realizing like we're still not there.
And we
I mean,
become
how much
a playoff team that we have to be every year because of the first one. It's like,
yeah,
you're gonna struggle, my friends.
No, I mean, there's ebbs and flows. There's good times and there's bad times. I think, I mean, also you have to realize like how much of that first roster, if you think about it, we were projected to be basically wooden spoon winners our first season. How many of those players are still on the roster and had to play significant minutes this year? And that's not meaning to be critical of guys like Hebert and Yarrow or Watts, right? Those are probably the three that everyone's gonna burn on the most. That's not said to be critical, but I do think it's a reality when you have to say, okay, where can we still improve this roster? Where is the turnover that needs to happen?
Looks like Xander was changing.
Yeah.
The
and then what signings did we make that didn't work out? I mean, like Nick Dyer, Nicholas Dewar came over. He didn't work out. Pedro didn't work out. I'm trying to think. There was another player that we had. I mean, Thorson really didn't work out. So, I mean, we've had quite a few players that were just not good. That just did not turn out to be good signings. Go ahead.
And that we're still paying. And those way on the wage bill. I think there's probably $1 million that's sitting with Pedro Bloom. And unfortunately Nielsen as well. So we have millions on players that are on the bench.
Well, as we dive into part of that, Mo, looking at the players for just this game alone, for folks who are listening, and probably talk a little bit about this on Monday, but of the players who are hurt right now or out for missing other reasons, including Leuven, $5.6 million of our total budget spend is on the injured list. That's 31% of our total spend in guaranteed salary is out or not contributing. $1.5 million of that is the combination of Rasmus Alm and Joachim Nilsson.
Did you just hear that? 5 million?
5 million, 5.6.
Yeah. So that means if you're the owners, right, and the people that are looking at the wage bill and says, hey, you want us to spend that 5-6 million, right? It's like, hey, it's sitting on the bench or in the emergency room.
Right. It's in the trainer's room, guys.
Yeah. And also like the players that you mentioned, right? If we remember, those were CD2 players that happened to earn and moved up to City, right? So the Watts and
even Yarrow. Yarrow was supposed to be
yes,
City
he was on there. Celio, all these are CD2 players that were CD2 players. So and those are the players that are not getting paid a lot of money as well, right?
Right. Yeah. No, they're both. Let me check, but I believe they were both supplemental roster guys.
Yeah, they're all under the 300K, and I think just recently because they get some of those pay raise and all that. But
yeah. So Watts is $104,000. Actually, Celio.
I don't know. I don't like what Ryan's saying, but
of the ones you mentioned, as we just fall behind 1-0.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was listening and I had it in my ear, but I think Celio's making almost $300,000 now. Yeah, Celio is at 281,000.
Yeah, and I think that one somebody missed their mark, but also it's a tapping that he did not tap. The ball met his leg, and it went in.
I mean, yeah, but
So who
that's just
lost
a
his
mess
marker?
of it. Well, it's a mess. It's somebody on the back post unmarked, comes across the face. Yeah, that's
No.
bad. That was just bad
Who
defending.
was that? Was it? JDR was ball watching for the ball to going back in the middle, and then Renzo did not cover him. Totland missed, Jake missed, and then Venzel missed his mark. That was not a good one. So that means Totland looks like it was ball watching when the ball got bought back in the middle, and then Jake missed the ball coming back in the box, and then Wenzel missed Ponce, which I don't even call that a tap in. His leg happened to be there. And here goes my 2-0.
Berkey. Well, St. Louis has to get their heads up and get going here. Can't fall down 2 right away.
Oh, when you say Berkey, I was like, what? I missed it.
Oh no, I'm ahead. I'm a little bit ahead of you. So I'm trying not to react. Doing my best.
You're better than me. But let's see if I can even refresh. But
oh no, you're fine. I'm at like 67-35.
Oh, I do that sometime to see. God dang.
Yeah, no, Berkey made a big save there to keep it 1-0, and we're still in this. I mean, there's 24 minutes to play roughly. I'm sure there will be a hydration break. There'll be some some
Whoa, what the heck is that?
Whoa. Thank you. Call that foul. Presume you're talking there about the foul against JGR?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we're on the same page there. Silva comes in for Celio.
Yep.
So Celio's day is done.
Yeah, Celio was kind of missing. He was MIA.
Yeah, he didn't really have a big impact. He got credited with what I guess was the first City shot, but he hasn't done a whole lot.
Yeah. And even his 1v1, the dribble, he didn't go too much for it.
Nah. Houston's doing a good job. I mean, Houston's doing a good job here of keeping us on the outside. We can't seem like the only real offensive build that we've had has been down the wings. Again, we had that same problem. Critch talked about it after the game against Orlando too. We've got to figure out how to use the middle of the field.
Yeah, we're supposed to have one player that managed that, but he's not playing.
Well, I mean, I think that's what injuries do to you, right? And I hate to make the excuse, but Leuven being out means you slide Hartle back, or even Vollum being injured is there's a foul, but it's called against Houston, so maybe a little bit of a break there as JGR goes down again.
Yeah, that was the lucky one on that one.
But yeah, I mean, we Ryan, you're right. We haven't been good. We have not been good at all in this game. We haven't been really sharp at all. That was just poor defense. I mean, to get the ball whipped across, it got whipped across goal 3 times. I think it went from the right to the left, back over to the right, and then back into the middle.
Yeah, and then dude was just standing there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was ping pong. It's like that old video game Pong where it's going beep boop. Beep, boop, and then bam, back of the net, and now we're losing.
As a striker, you're right position, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and I think we still don't have a shot. No, we don't have a shot on target yet, do we? Am I right? I think.
Let's take a look.
through 70, I'm pretty sure we still don't have a shot on goal.
Maybe Xander's gonna make us liars. Nope.
No,
we're 3 shots. That's it.
Yeah, none on target.
I can't win a game. That's for sure.
No. Would this be the first game that where Critch can't talk about chances created? Because we really haven't created them
for now. But
I mean, against a team that had conceded 15 goals in their last 6 games coming in, we can't even get a shot on goal.
Well, they're known for good defense, but 15, that means you're supposed to have your chances, and with what average 2 goals per game since the culture switch. So unless they were gonna wake up in the last few minutes, that's he's not gonna be happy that he's losing that stat.
Ryan, you're right. What is there to be positive about? I was kind of having that conversation with Chris Gebhardt a little bit on Twitter. He was talking about one of the latest episodes of I think it's called STL Showdown or City Showdown, where they were just saying how happy they were just playing exciting football, and I'm like, sadly, is that really where the bar is now? Are we just happy that we're not watching paint dry like we did with Olaf and we're scoring goals? Is that really how bad it's gotten?
The way people sounded, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And Abstract's coming in to put a little bit more of that ump.
So Ostrak in for Reed. So who's going to play left? So I think that answers the Giannis Horn question. And that's the last sub we can make. That's the third window.
So who's going?
So that's it. But who's going to play? Who's playing left back then? We didn't bring Hebert in. So what are we going to do? Or can Ostrak play left? I don't think I've seen him play left back.
No, but I guess.
Or is it Watts?
Someone's going to move him up.
I think it's Watts. Look how far left Watts is right now. I think it's Akil Watts.
Yeah. Well,
maybe. I can't tell.
He played there at times.
Yeah.
He won to.
Yeah, it looks like it's Watts. The back line is Tots, JGR, Winsel, and Watts. And Ostrak's in the middle alongside Hartle. Or Toyshirt. Did Toyshirt drop that low?
Yeah, he sure did. Maybe Klaus is tired.
Well, I mean, you would think so. So what that means then, we're not going to refresh the strikers in this game. Not that we have anybody to refresh anyway.
Let's see. There you go. Totland, watch him. There you go. Put it in the box. The box, not on the goalkeeper. Put it where?
No.
The penalty space.
Well, to be fair, he's trying to play around the sliding defender there. If he could lift the ball and cut it back, it'd be. I mean, he's got bodies in the box. That's one thing I will say. Ryan, you're 100% right. I mean, he was talking going into the week. I think it was Choose Your Fighter on X between Yarrow and Vincel. Because we knew one of them would play, but I don't know that Vincel has done bad. I mean, I haven't had a real problem with Vincel. I do want to go back and really watch that goal from Ponce again, as it looks like someone from City is cramping. It looks like JGR is cramping.
I think it's just missed there. Olivier, we are come on. Olivier ain't got no time to come and watch us. but yes, I will be watching the farewell game. Hopefully he just crashes and do whatever he wants. But one thing I have to say, since even though we're on the water break, all the people I've heard saying, it was a flop or anything for him, I think it was more dictated of what LAFC did not know how to use him versus him not performing. I was talking to my LAFC friends early one day, was the remorse. And I said, this is the way you have to play him for him to perform well. If not, it is pointless. And exactly they did the opposite of it, which is he's a great striker when his back is to the goalkeeper. So if he's able to turn, he will have his shots, or else he will supply for the faster left forward or right forward and to score. They did not.
He's a proper 9. He is a proper 9. That's what he is. That's what LA should play. I thought that's what they would do with him. You have when they signed him, I would have assumed it would be Bogusz and Boanga running off the wings. And I know Bogusz ended up leaving, but still, you're 100% right. And the other thing, too, that nobody is really talking about, I do think Tom Bogert had a piece out or mentioned it in at least one or two of his posts, but there's more to it than just what he did on the field or what's going on the pitch. From what I understood, and Tom was talking about his family, Giroud's family maybe didn't acclimate as well. And, that's a piece of all of this that always gets forgotten when we bring in these international players into the league as transfers. The bigger than, can they acclimate? Can they get comfortable? As we see another sub being made this time, it looks like it's on the Houston side.
Hey, that's the same thing we were talking with Bloom. I told people that was majority of the situation. It was also that. But also his house got burglarized, and then there was the wildfire, and then there's now the unrest with the whole politic things. It's like that's a lot of things that he never had to worry about there. So
right. Well, and Ryan, you mentioned, you use him the way he's to play. The problem is if your team isn't set up to that's the other problem, Mo, you were talking about, right? Like you have to use him a proper way, but if he doesn't fit your system, don't expect him to change what he's going to do when you know what he's done for years. I mean, where did he go? He was at, I think, Milan prior to.
Yes.
And now when he was good there, and he's going to Lille, I think is where I saw he signed back in France.
So he's going back home. Almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was one of those, and then French called it back. So it's one of those situations where it's so tricky, and everything went down, and that's what happens when you get international players. Some works out, some don't. It's the game you play. He's going to get a hero welcome back because he's the French leading goal scorer. It's good for Ligue 1 because he's one of ours. So I think it's the double-edged sword, but he's going back to France.
Yeah. So what Ryan said there, modern football has too much of a fit players into the system instead of vice versa. What do you think about that? Do you think teams should buy the players that fit the system they want to run, or do you think the players should be expected to change?
Ryan, unfortunately, my friend, I'm going to have to tell you that it's the team that should try to fit a player to their standard. And my reasoning why is that what I've seen currently in the US space is that every team, every academy or others have a certain way that they want to play. So they're going to mold a player to their way of playing. And then when you take them out of that environment and you put them somewhere else, they're completely lost. I forgot which podcast I was looking at where they're saying a lot of the top club teams like ECNL and others, where it is so that you have to showcase yourself, the ID camps and others. But then once you reach college, now you have to win, right? So the mentality changes. And then that's when some of the players kind of lose their identity because they're used to saying, this is how we want you to play versus, hey, you're excellent at this. This is how we do it. And can we find a ground to where we can use your skill set, but you also do our system versus it's kind of hard to find a player with your system, right? I mean, and if they fit your system, it's most likely another team has the same system and they can spend more money to get them.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why Brazilians are great, right? Sorry. That's why Brazilians are great, right? They are skillful. They have all of the fundamentals. But then when they go to Europe, right, they're able to acclimate because they now take some of the style and the learning from that group and play.
And Mo, like maybe to Ryan's point, like as I think about, to take my city hat off, put my United fan hat. So, we've had all these different coaches coming in over the last, decade, each play a different system. And the number one excuse we always hear is similar to kind of like what Olaf said was, I don't have the players to play the way I want. Like even now, we can't play Amarim's 3-4-3 because we don't have the players in the squad to play that system well. So, I feel like with Giroud, he's gonna be labeled as a flop, even though based on the salary and the DP tag, I guess it'll be accurate in that way. But at the same time, I feel like that's a little harsh, given the way that the LAFC folks and Steve Cherundolo didn't really adapt the system to work with what Giroud's tools are.
I don't know who this guy is, but he's killing me. Saying that he was care only about fashion in TikTok. Come on, Giroud was in Milan. He was doing fashion left and right and all of this stuff. So I won't go that far. But yeah.
Oh man, this game, as we enter the 83rd minute almost now, Mo, I'm really struggling to find a good takeaway from tonight. I mean, the defense for the most part was fine. The one moment was bad. Outside of that, they really haven't let anything else up. Outside of that, I don't see anything to build on here. The offense has taken a step back. We don't have a shot on goal. We've only got 4 total shots in the game. Most of our offensive players have seemingly been invisible. Betcher hasn't done a whole lot. Celio wasn't so invisible. He got his ghost got subbed off for Jande. Am I being too harsh?
No. At this moment, it's like Houston has not done a whole lot more.
They haven't.
That goal has just happened. That their luck hit. But I'm looking at these stats. We have had 53% of the ball. We have 5 shots, 0 on target, 0 big chances missed, and 0 corners. That's a lot of 0 for 83 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And I think
2 goals.
Well, and what makes it worse is the fact that it's not like we're set up an Olaf ball with 8 center backs, or where we're, not playing an attack, or where we're playing a defensive minded lineup, because we're really not. You've had Betcher on, Teukert on, Silva's on, Klaus is on, Vollum played for a half. Tots is back on. We've had Jay Reed on. Zielinski, who's probably just as effective offensively, not as Totland, but in terms of his ability to play offense and defense, he's probably more offensive minded. So even Morales left injured, and Watts is a bit more offensive. I don't know. I'm really struggling to see what we can do here. Olivier Pujols is not going to help with soccer. Nice try. He's busy coaching the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic, I believe.
Oh boy, the real Olivier does not know who Pujols is.
Yeah, Houston's trying to go for the killer. I will say that much. Molina's coaching Puerto Rico. But anyway, he's actually a manager of a team in Puerto Rico, I think, not just the World Baseball Classic. But this is funny. Bringing on we have another sub for Houston, so their sub windows. Their sub windows. Well, yeah, to your point, Mo. Houston hasn't played us off the park, or out of the park. This hasn't really been a game where Houston. I hate to say it. I don't know that Houston really has done a lot to deserve the lead, but they had one moment where they actually put a shot on goal, and that's what they got out of it.
Yeah, and now they just put in Loredo, who is going back to his club team, and now probably wants to make a point, final hoo-ha. So I don't know. You see that one nice play right there with Silva and Hartel? That was just a glimpse of what we should have seen early on.
Well, that's what I don't know. It's like that little bit that's one of the things when I tried to talk to I asked it to Betcher after the last game about the idea of developing these relationships, because Critch has talked a lot about relationships, and I just don't know if is it that these guys, some of them, in the case of Silva, who came at the deadline the deadline as a trade with Atlanta, is he, do these guys know how to play that close? Do they know where their movements are going to take them? And is that relationship built yet? That's one of what I wondered, because there are many instances where like we see guys like Hartle try those fancy flicks with guys and it doesn't come off. And is it the relationships, or is it that moment that it's the wrong time to try the flick?
I think
I don't know.
Oh, that's a bad pass. But I think it has a little bit of that leadership, but I think one thing that they may forget is that relationship is one thing, but you have to kind of learn how your teammate likes to play and their tendencies, so that when that flick happens, he preferred to lean on his right foot. So when you do that flick, it will be a little bit more on the left so that he can settle it and run. So I think it's more like the repetition of them playing together. Then you will be able to make those 2-3 succession passes. But still, it barely plays, right? So the tempo with him and Hartel won't be the same. Klaus and Betcher, you can see the sync together because yes, they are also best friend from what we know, but they've played enough together now they kind of know their tendencies. But that's just our striker. So now we need to move more in the middle and says, hey, so now who are those best friends in the midfield that we know will be playing like that together? And then, who in defense is also the best friends? Because right now we only know is our strikers that are good friends. Who else?
True. Yep. And I was just looking at talking about offense and things like that. Right now, the leading guy with touches in the box for City is João Klaus. He has 4 touches in the box tonight. So I mean, we never got going offensively, and we've never figured it out. As it looks like Silva's whistled for a foul there in the middle of the field. As we're nearing stoppage time, it is getting late. Can City at this point find a late equalizer and steal a point in Houston?
I wouldn't let it pass Klaus. I think he's probably the brightest thing that might make it happen. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know what. I don't know. I'm still perplexed at what do we take from this game? What is the building point from this game? Is it that we played a young defensive line and they didn't look bad? Is that the one win? Because it sure doesn't seem to be anything offensively.
I think it was more Houston not being that threatening yet. I'm trying to figure out who this Olivier Giroud is, because he's bringing up
the Sounders
people that I know too closely. He said Jesse William, which is my good friend that used to play with Chattanooga. He's also a Trinidad Tobago international. So he's still looking for a team that's coming back. And Leo Fernandez plays for Tampa Rowdies, who is also I interviewed when I was in Tampa, and very good player too. So I'm trying to figure out who this guy is, and it probably will drive me crazy until I figure out who that is. But fun fact, Leo was in the MLS draft in Hartwork when Hartwork was the coach at Philadelphia.
Oh, he's in Florida. He's giving you clues, Mo. He is a Florida guy.
Oh man, that's gonna drive me
mad. We're close. We're close. We're only like 7 points better than them. I mean, my buddy, my buddy from News Across the Galaxy, Edgar Zaninga. I mean, I feel bad for him, but we're firmly with him in that bunch.
I feel you know what? He's on the no. I'm not. I don't feel bad. I want to keep him. I want to keep Edgar and his team as low as possible. I don't want that wooden spoon.
I mean, they just won the MLS Cup. I'm pretty sure they can handle the wooden spoon. I'm not quite ready to say that. And if they're not, maybe Montreal will take it. But 7 minutes. We're about 20 seconds into the 7 minutes of added time. City needs, based on the way we've played tonight, I'm going to call it a miracle. Right? City would need a miracle right now.
Well, Klaus did pull a few miracles.
Yeah.
the hint of being in Florida does not help. That's a big state.
Big defensive play there. Kowalczyk forcing a block. I mean, that's the thing that I hate about tonight. We've played fine defensively. We just haven't. We've reverted back to the mean of not creating offensively, and after a run of 4 games in a row of scoring, 2 goals a game.
Ooh, dude, what kid? That's a yellow right there. He's supposed to.
Yeah, he can't block that. That's got to be a yellow for delay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That has to be. That's textbook.
Yeah, it's like give somebody a yellow.
Yeah, like whoever yes. How is that not like? I don't even care about the foul, Vincel. Like just him get directly.
No, that's
standing...
a yellow. That's the yellow. That's a dangerous play.
Oh, the kick.
Yeah, you try to do a bicycle kick, and you don't have the ball. Step 1 and 2, you hit the guy in the head.
Yeah. Well, and that's fine. But I mean, I'm just saying on the dead ball when he's directly stepped in front of him, the bicycle attempt aside, that's the yellow for delay at all. Period.
Yeah. Well, you saw he gave yellow for soft fouls, but
and that's just that's bad from Berkey there. Playing the long ball, and now we're going to go back to needing possession here. Can we do something? We've got 5 minutes right around there to do something. I just don't know. This is bad.
Yep, there you go. They go. Time wasting.
How is that?
Yeah, I told you, dude.
15, 20 minutes ago, that wasn't even a whistle. We saw worse than that, and we were playing through. Like, is it now because we're in stoppage time, all of a sudden the whistle just has to be blown, ref? Like, this ref has been trash.
I usually try to stay away from being nice to refs, but no, this dude.
This has been bad.
All right.
Another block, another corner.
Is it as bad as Olaf ball?
I mean, tonight's game has been. Tonight's been like watching paint dry.
Oh,
this is bad. You know what I'm going to be curious about? I haven't checked the Cardinals' schedule, but I'm hoping that it's not a crazy day game. And I bring that up because every Sunday on Sports on a Sunday on KMOX, Lutz Pfannenstiel is on Sports on a Sunday with Tom Ackerman. And as long as they don't bump his segment, I will be extremely curious to see what Lutz has to say after a week that's included this abysmal performance offensively and the debacle that was the first half an hour against Orlando. Because it's been a crappy week here. There's you can't lose 4-2 at home to Orlando. No disrespect, Orlando's a good side, but you can't do that at home and then do this. You can't. Unacceptable.
Yeah, and it looks like that break that the guys got was bad.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know what happened during that break, but that's a little questionable. And the other part is the Olaf ball. The scary part is that at least on that part, they were passing the ball backwards, so that was kind of crazy, driving us crazy. But that's not the case here.
Yep.
And the tactic was not to hold the ball and let Houston come at us. This whole premise of the tactic that I've seen was that we were going to go up, pressure up, and have as much opportunity as we can. But it has not happened. Like, did 0 shots on target.
Yeah. You know what it would be? I'm going to say this. And I say this and I laugh because if Critchley comes into the press conference and says, we created chances, we just have to do better in them moments, it's just going to be a repeat of what Olaf said in a different accent.
I just can't. It's 0 corners versus 7. I mean, is there something here?
Oh,
Smashing on the top.
oh.
No,
Oh, there's the
smashing
shot on goal. It
Yeah.
took 97 minutes or 96 minutes.
And I was
to
on
get
the
a shot on goal.
goalkeeper. You're supposed to shoot it on the upper 90. Try to put a hole on top of the net. Like
96. Oh my god. I mean, it's great that that's the moment. It's great. Like, but you need more of that. You can't wait until 96 minute, 97 minutes to test the keeper. And that really wasn't a test.
No, that wasn't a test. That was right at him.
Like at this point, even going to stoppage, you throw everybody forward. I know you don't want to let up that second goal,
You're losing.
but you got to do something.
It's 3-point lost already.
No, this is done. I mean,
Like
at the
now
bare
we're just Hail
minimum.
Marys?
Well, yeah, we're just trying to chuck it forward now because it's 15 seconds left until the whistle. Okay, he's onside if he can win that ball. I mean, just don't blow it down here. Oh my God, don't go backwards. You're asking the ref to blow the whistle. Got to go forward. Everybody in the box. Ah, don't blow it. There it is. And that's the final. St. Louis shoots a blank in Houston. The final 1-0 to the Dynamo. St. Louis, their 11th loss of the season, fellas. Not much to take away from this.
And I think this
game.
was one of the worst lost. I have to say that's probably one of the worst one we've had. Yeah, that's no.
Just kind of looking through MLS at the moment, Mo, they do have their live standings tracker. So with that loss, that's now our 11th loss of the season. We are going to end the match week through 20 match days with a total of 11 points, I think. 11 losses, still sitting on 15 points. We are now only 6 points above Galaxy on the live table. The gap to the playoffs grows, now 11 points on the live table. Looking around scores, we'll talk more about St. Louis, I'm sure, in a minute. But kind of looking at who's in 9th right now, Colorado. So Colorado lost to Orlando, but we are still 11 points behind them to try to climb into 9th place. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I'd be intrigued to look. I mean, I'll look up the math. We'll have the numbers for you, Mo, Monday night on what it would take for City to get to the playoffs, but it's really not worth it. Houston up to 23 points on the season now. They get their 6th win of the season. They are in 10th place, so they close the gap as they're hunting into the playoffs to 3 points on Colorado. Mo, I don't know what we take away from this one as City turns the page, and we now look. I believe our next match is on the road as well. I believe we go to Real Salt Lake next. I'm double checking that. Yeah, our next game, as we look, is on the 5th, which would be next Saturday. We have an 8:30 p.m. start in Salt Lake against Real Salt Lake in America First Field. So 8:30.
Okay, 8:30. All right.
Yeah,
so
they're Mountain Time, so they're not quite West Coast. They're in between.
Yeah. Sorry, what was you going to say? My takeaway?
Yeah.
No shots on goal. And yes, defense looked better, but Houston was not we're not trying to set the world on fire to test those guys. So it's that it was, to be honest, it was a boring game. And I hate to say it, but no, that was not it. And Ryan, I hear you on the whole Lutz out. I hear you, but I think now it's the collective of the team has to be asked a lot of questions. And now I'm leaning more on the roster thing. Uh, this
Yeah.
will be the time where there should be, and I'm sure there are some very hard discussions at this moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 5 or 6 players on the roster that we have will be going somewhere else after this. Um, and just coming back to the 2023 season,
Mm-hmm.
some of these guys that we no longer have now starting to show that, yes, they were probably more of the backbone of the team that people give them credits, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
maybe some were a little bit more working and had a point to prove that season because they got sent to a new team coming in. And now
Yeah.
we have a lot of stars, and that connection is not there yet.
No, and Mo, is it with so and I know so we just watched St. Louis City lose. City 2 got a 1-0 win over Houston Dynamo 2 tonight. They won 1-0 in a game in which they had 21 shots, including 8 on target. Now, obviously, we're talking next pro, so level of competition is a step down or 2 from the MLS. But I guess I wonder, when do we start saying, you know what, let's use some of these short-term loans and see what some of these guys that are producing at next pro can do. Because I mean, especially, and maybe that's an overreaction to tonight's performance. Maybe that's what that is, considering coming into it, we had averaged 2 goals a game. But I'm just really, really struggling to find any reason to think that this team can take a step forward. I mean, Critchley said, I think it was after the last game, he goes, well, this wasn't a step in the right direction. Then what is this? If that wasn't I'm just curious how he'll classify this game.
Yeah, and it won't be good for it is a bad look for him on wanting to have the job, because that was one of the highlights of his changes. But yes, I think and you probably heard me, there's some of the guys at City 2 that probably have earned at least a chance to show what they have for 10, 15 minutes, I guess, or something. Because at this point, like I keep saying, midfield, we don't have that edge yet.
Well, we don't have a consistent midfield. That is part of what kills us, is we don't have that level of play to either stop and cause interruptions and interference. And we don't have them to link up the attack and help us transition. Too much of our attack is just direct over the top balls or playing out wide. Like we can't, it's the middle is just a void, and it's a problem. And it's been that way from Olaf to now this. I don't know. Is part of that caused by the fact that you don't have Durkin and Leuven? Probably a large part of it, because not only, so like tonight, if you think about this, in your mid chart, your midfield depth chart, right? You've got Leuven and Durkin are your top 2. Then you probably say, okay, Morales is there. He's hurt. JGR, who might have been in the midfield, is called in as a center back tonight. Did play well, but he's not there. So then you're left with Vollum, who can play a bunch of different places. Maybe midfield isn't his best, but he's there. Or you have to pull a guy like Toyshirt or Hartle. And so injuries make a difference in a game like tonight, or in the season period, when your midfield doesn't exist. I mean, I don't think you can't ignore it, but it's not the only problem with this team.
Yeah, and that's when you need someone else to step up to do that part.
So, yep.
Yes, he's in a situation that's not ideal. So then that's when you go and look at who's the next man up for it. And then maybe then they start to practice like what your starter was supposed to do. It says here, this is what we need from you. Yes, we understand that's probably not your style of play, but guess what? Sometimes you are still a soccer player. You still know how to kick the ball. You still know how to pass it. Let's see what we can convert you to. Like we were saying, Giroud, at one time, he put gloves because it needed to. John Terry put some. I mean, you've seen yourself in some situations where it's not ideal, but you need someone to step it up. I'm trying to still figure out who says, "Hey, I'm going to take Leuven's job."
Yep,
and that's the mentality you want.
Yeah, but there isn't right now. There isn't anyone that's going to. And to your point, no one seems hungry. Mo, I'm going to run down some final stats, and then I'm going to jump over to the press conference real quick. But
and I'll put this on hold, and then you let me know, and then you ping me, and then we'll come back to it. Yeah,
sure. So shots, Houston wins the shot count 18-7. Shots on target 6 for Houston, 1 for City. Of those shots, 13 for Houston inside the box. City just 4 on inside the box. Your expected goals 2.45 for Houston, 0.31 for City. Expected goals on target 1.92 for Houston. City registering just 0.14 goals on target. City won a few other categories. They had more passes, but better accuracy. But it's where those passes took place that was the problem for me. Of all of the passes, 265 of the 406 passes, so more than half of City's passes were in our own defensive half of the field. So didn't really matter. We only registered 13 shots in, or 13 touches in the opponent's box compared to Houston's 32. And Mo, I think you called it out earlier, no corners for City. So I struggle to find anything in this to say we've got something to build on.
No, I might have to rewatch the game, but yeah.
So I'm gonna jump over to the press conference. We'll come back after, talk about a few things that get said if we want, and wrap up this night. Or Mo, do you want to recap, or do you want to, do we want to call it and talk about the press conference on Monday?
You know what? Let's do that. Let's call it, and then after we'll just talk about it from there. I think,
and we'll post on socials. I'll post out the some quotes. I'll put graphics together, get those on all of our socials, not only mine, but the top corner on X, and we'll put them in our chat so we can get them over to Blue Sky as well, guys.
Yeah, I need to see if I was supposed to get the link, but yes, and send it to me too if I don't have it. But yeah, we'll just close that out, and we'll do that for now. So everyone, thank you all for joining for this other watch along. We've had a great conversation. Shout out to Ryan for joining, and Olivier Giroux. Apparently he joined us as well. So great way to talk. So we'll catch up with you all later, and hope you have a blessed day, and make sure you follow Top Corner Talk. Peace.
Good night.